What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we are going to be starting on the sedan shell, which is right next to me. I just went out and actually bought another set of microphones. I got these new Rode Video Micro wireless mics. So I'm pretty stoked on these. I wish this was paid, but they're basically just like little AirPod type case devices with transmitter for the phone. I don't really do much Instagram and TikTok content. Like, most of what I post is just like drift clips or skateboarding clips or whatever. And I want to get more into kind of like the short form content of what I do on here, just really shrunk down a few, key details set up just for the social media, because, as much as I love and hate social media, as we all do, I'm sure, it is a pretty big part, especially with me trying to grow not only the shop, but as a drifter and a driver and everything else. With all of that comes, marketing, and social media is obviously today's marketing. So that is a big thing. So I'm pretty stoked on that. I just wanted to show you guys I got those. I got to set those up really quick. But yeah, topic of today's video, we are starting to work on the sedan shell. So here it is behind me. Obviously it is a shell at this point. Like, it has almost nothing in the interior. I'm gonna go through, finish gutting it probably in this video. We're just gonna get rid of a bunch of crap. So this thing I got from my friend Oliver. He bought it somewhere out east. Thankfully it is quite clean. Tiny bits of surface rust on some of the hardware and stuff underneath, but chassis wise it's very clean. It's missing the front end because it was in a small front end fender bender. So just the curtain right here is a little beat up. Right here at this seam is split, but this is all getting cut out anyway, because obviously we are drifting this. And for me, I cut this side out of my coupe chassis for charge pipes. This side we're gonna cut this out just for serviceability. I won't spoil everything we're doing, but this is going to be essentially a full race car. Now, a big part of what I need to do to this chassis, other than the roll cage and the chassis reinforcements, which we will make separate videos for those, obviously. The roll cage I will probably do as one longer video, kind of like a detailed how I go about doing it, because I'm not perfect. Everybody has their own ways, but that's beside the point. So something that I have not done yet up to this point is built a tubular rear end. So we are going to be doing just that, because this thing is a perfect candidate for it. Now, like I said, this is a clean chassis, and if you don't really know, I'm sorry. I know this is a type of video where you want to skip through and get to the work part, but if you're just watching this because you're a normal subscriber or you're just interested, the whole point of a tubular rear end in a drift car is essentially to get rid of all the main structure, because there's a few reasons. It upsets the car. Now, the rear of my coupe is very crooked because riding the wall, hitting the wall, whatever. So it transfers all the energy, and the bigger problem is that it's a lot of weight back here and then a lot of lack of serviceability. So the rear tire well is a very common thing for people to cut out. There's a few companies that even sell delete plates once you cut it out. In this case, a tube rear is where we basically chop the rear frame rails and the tubs and all the sheet metal out back here. And we basically, in my case, a lot of people will even cut the quarters and run all of this as like, fiberglass. I don't have the budget for that yet, so we're gonna leave the metal structure here, which is fine. But every bit of metal basically around this rear finish panel and the quarters is going to go bye-bye. Obviously, I'm gonna run overs, so this will get trimmed up irregardless, but all the main metal in here is gonna get cut. Now, the point of the tube is to obviously build a new frame structure, and then you have your pickup points off of that. So we're going to be doing big old 3x3 square tube for our new frame rails, and with that I'm trying to plan ahead. So although I don't plan on running a fuel cell in the current time or when the swap is initially done, I am going to eventually run a fuel cell. So I'm going to go on Radium's website. I'm going to find a fuel cell that I want to build the inner dimensions to, and I will build it to that. And then the other part of emptying this all out back here is serviceability. So the differentials on these cars are kind of hidden with this big O tub down here. So it allows for easier servicing of the differential, weight loss because you're cutting all this stuff out. And then for the collision aspect of it, when you're bumping walls, bumping cars and stuff, when we're building bash bars, we're not going to be doing it for the normal sense of a bash bar, like to hang the bumper off of. In a drift car, especially at a competitive level and whatever, you want some cushion, because you don't want to upset the car. You want to be able to drag the wall and touch the wall without upsetting the car or stopping you. So easiest way to do that is off of our tube structure, our square tube structure. I'll be building essentially a few different bolt-on bash bars, one on each side, and then a rear style one. The rear one is mostly to hold the rear bumper system up, but the side ones, and there's gonna have some gaps. So you don't want the bash bar to immediately be touching the bumper, because if I hit a wall you know, if I graze one, we'll say, I don't want that to stop me or to upset the car or to do anything like that. If you give the bumper a few inches of cushion before it hits the crash beam, then, you know, it just sucks in, it deflects, and then you're able to spring back out of that and you're able to continue driving. It looks cool, there's less damage done. And then also you want to build the tube structures, the removable ones, the ones that take the impact, you want to build them out of a little bit thinner material from what I understand than you would a normal bash bar. So normally I just use like 1.5" 13 gauge for my bumper bars and stuff. At this point, I'm gonna be using 1.5" 14 gauge, just a little bit thinner. That way, if I do hit it, it'll crumple pretty easy, but not easy enough that it's just gonna completely obliterate itself into the square tube. So like I said, I've never built a tubular rear end before, so the reason for this video and this video series, as I have the time and money to start building this chassis on the side, is to A, learn, B, document it, and give you guys some ideas. Now, from what I've seen, there is no right or wrong way to build a tubular rear end because there's no real formula for it in terms of like, there's no written regulations on it. I was studying the FD rule book this morning, trying to see for ideas on, you know, wall thicknesses and pipe styles and stuff. There's nothing in there for it. There's only, you know, limitations to chassis modifications as well as you know, roll cages and stuff, but there's nothing particular about the rear end. You basically just build it how you see fit and to accommodate what you need to do. So without further ado, let's unload the material, let's go over what we got, and then let's get to cutting this thing up because I'm pretty excited because you know, it's gonna be fun. So if any of you guys are regular viewers, you know that I have a coupe already that I've been drifting for a few years, and you may be wondering why I'm switching to a sedan. There's no real reason other than my chassis has taken quite a bit of damage that is partially repairable, partially like I just don't want to have to deal with it. I want to start fresh, and then also because this sedan just has a little bit easier access to like the back seat area, fuel system, more cabin space, etc. So if you guys are wondering why I'm building a sedan, there's no real rhyme or reason to it. It's just that it was available to me for extremely cheap. Ended up doing some trade work for it. And then also because my chassis is getting quite beat up and I don't have the money to run 2 chassis as much as I would like to, maybe in the future. But at the current time, you know, it's just a, you know, we can build this one on the side while the other car is still running. And then once this chassis is done, I can go ahead and swap the motor in because everything's going to be interchangeable and it'll be nice. This one, I know what I want to do now with the car, whereas before with the coupe, I didn't really know what I was doing. I was just knowing I wanted to learn how to drift. So that's what we did. Here we are almost, you know, about 2.5, 3 years later. And yeah, we got purpose now. So for roll cage tubing, because of the weight of the vehicle and because the amount of tubes, I can go ahead and use 1.5" 095 DOM. For the tubular rear end, we are using 3x3 1/8 inch for that, the square tube, and then for the bumper bars, this is 1.5" hot rolled, normal mild steel, 14 gauge.
made some pretty steady progress getting everything torn out of here. This is the last bit. I'm going to throw these speakers away really quick, but the last bit that I wanted to kind of mention to you guys, I'm still working it out, but I have a good idea because I found an old forum post, but is these two blue lines. Now there is a bigger line that runs in here as well. I think that's also just a vent line, but essentially these two blue lines are for the evap system, and they are important. I'm just trying to figure out which one's which. Shouldn't be too hard, but basically one of these gets capped and the other one, actually I believe one of these gets deleted because I think that one also runs into all the way up here to right here. This normally goes to, what is it, the charcoal canister or something that's in here. Obviously race car, we won't be running any of that stuff, and chopping the rear out, we won't have a home for it anyway. But then I think, I want to say it's this inner one right here. I think this one just gets a line ran to it, and basically you run it up high and then you put a one-way valve on it, put a long hose with like a loop in it. That's essentially a vent valve for the gas tank. So that is kind of my only concern. This whole thing can go bye-bye. Not too sure what this hose is. I was gonna check that really quick, but I think, you know, it's probably all just the same stuff. But yeah, that's the last of it. And then as well as whatever figuring this thing is out, I'm just gonna chop that bracket off regardless. So yeah, I'll cut these hoses right quick, and then we can pretty much just start cutting crap out. So I spent some time doing some cleanup. I just swept up my mess, but we got this all trimmed out quite nicely. I ended up putting it on the lift because it was just way easier to stand up and do this. So yeah, this stuff, I'm gonna keep this little wall right here just to kind of give me extra protection with this stuff. I guess there's nothing back here that has to be protected from that. So I don't know, but yeah, I think just for leaving it clean, I will leave that because the cut looks pretty even. So next thing I'm gonna do is go through here with my wire wheel. You can see this is all like seam sealer. So I'm gonna go through with the wire wheel and clean this all up really nice, in the weld areas at least. And then once that's done, I'm going to go through with a flat disc and clean up all the rough, sharp edges because nobody likes sharp edges. And then we can start building our base plates. So this, I have to shape it a little bit because right now you can kind of see it's a little tilty. This one, same thing. So we're looking pretty symmetrical. Perfect, I don't think so, but you know, it doesn't have to be perfect. So I'm gonna probably take some rough measurements, find some reference points. So I don't know how exact we are, but we're at least pretty close. Any other trimming I have to do, I'll do that. But yeah, my next objective is just to kind of get this all cleaned up so I can weld this, and that way so there's no sharp edges. So I picked these up at the metal supplier. So these are just 3x3
plates with 4 holes drilled in them. I want to make the rear portion of this bash bar removable. So before I even weld this up, I'm gonna go ahead and while I can access it, I'm gonna put these at the ends of the thing, because then I can weld nuts inside. It'll just make it look a lot cleaner. For visual reference, what I mean is because I can access inside here, I'm gonna weld these plates right on the end first. I'm gonna drill the holes, weld nuts on the inside, and then it'll make it nice and easy to bolt the rear crash beam on. So like I've shown you guys in a dozen other videos, I use the bend tech software to help me figure out the bends now. Granted, I'm only human, so I don't know how to work it perfectly, and I'm sure there's bugs, if you want to call them that. So basically what I'm trying to say, I typed in a bunch of different measurements that I thought would work. I bent up my first one, I was a little off, and the corrections I tried to make made this all sort of wig out. So I kind of took what I had, where's my other piece? This was my first one. And essentially what I had done is this section was too long here. So knowing after eyeballing it what I needed, I basically just chopped this section out of here and then recalculated. I need to account for a little bit extra cut off over here. And so doing so, I was able to actually come over here and recreate this. So this is the bad one and this is the correct one. So little tiny bit different. The main difference is I took length out of this bend here. I added it over to here, plus a little bit more. And then I also did a 50 degree bend. This was a 45, I did a 50 here, and that basically drops it right where I need it to. So kind of give you guys a rough visual here. This is going to sit roughly like that. So yeah, something like that. And that's gonna give me a little bit of a cushion. I gotta trim the one leg obviously, but yeah, it's gonna give me a few inches of space to, you know, account for wall taps and such. And then, yeah, unfortunately, I made one too many mistakes and I only have one. I have to go get more material to build the other side. So like I showed you guys before, I'm gonna just be using these little tabs to mount it. These are easily replaceable and very repeatable. So I'll just drill some holes into the top and run a through bolt, and these will just get welded just like that. All right, we're gonna end this video off on that note. We got those rear tabs cut up, looking pretty good. It's gonna fit nicely. I'm not gonna weld them on though, because I don't want to do just the one side. So I'm gonna wait till I go get some more material and then we can do that together. That'll be for next video though. So I do hope you guys enjoyed this episode. This is a whole new world to me, building real race car stuff. So I'm very much so looking forward to the progress being made. Hopefully you guys are enjoying the videos so far, and I've started doing like a mini series of this on my social medias as well, if you want to follow me on there if you don't already. And you know, thanks for sticking around, spending some time out of your day here with me. If you learned something, let me know in the comments down below. Hopefully this inspires you guys to kind of just get at it. You know, I realized nobody else is coming to do this for me. I gotta just get cranking on it. So yeah, it's been fun. So do what you love, pick up with the rest, and we'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.